Welcome back. You're welcome back. Let's wait for others who are trying to join now. Let's just wait for 2 seconds. Okay, we'll wait for about a couple of seconds more. We know more people are joining, so let's just wait for a couple of seconds for them to join. Wow. Whilst we're waiting for 1 or 2 more people, I think we can start now. But Lucy has shared her own experience. Lucy said her own. So Lucy was saying that Lucy has shared her experience. Mine was mechanical engineering I applied for, but ended up with mathematics and computer science. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're back. I hope you all heard Messi's story, So sometimes, and I'm sure some of us may have been in that place, in that location, in that situation. So like I said earlier, when we talk of consequences, just like somebody mentioned, benefit. So consequences in this case, meaning that they are results. Let's just use the word results. Aftermath. Whatever decision you decide to take, remember, you don't make decisions. Decisions make you. You take decisions, and decisions you take end up making you. So always remember that. Can you even put that in the chat box? We don't make decisions. We take decisions. Decisions we take end up making us. Can you put that in the chat box? So that even as you are as you are thinking of consequences, you are thinking of aftermath, you're asking yourself, this is just I want to take. What will it make me to be? What will it transform me to be? Can I say that in the chat box? Let me be sure you got that. And I said that in the chat box. We don't make decisions, we take decisions, and decisions we take end up making us. The second point I want to mention whilst you post in the chat box, the second point I wanted to say is that it is to talk about values and goals. Thank you, Ifelua. We don't make decisions, we take decisions, and decisions we take end up making us. Yes, the decisions we take end up making us. We are made by our decisions. So remember that before you take that decision and say, this thing is about to make me, that's why it's even called make decision. Decision making. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Pious Glory. Yes, thank you for that as well. Yes, Ismail, you guys are getting it. You're getting it. Yes, Faith, you're getting it. So the next thing I want you to look at, to consider when you are taking this decision, is to Olawale. Yes, thank you, Kafayat. I saw your chat as well. I want to make sure that I acknowledge everyone, who has said something. All right. So the next thing is values and goals. Consider your value. Look at your value. Does it align with your value system, what you stand for? This decision you want to take, does it align with your personal values and goals? Ask yourself. Now, let me tell you. So one of the things I didn't say, I told you, I said I've always been should I say outspoken? I could talk for a long time to people. But what I wasn't good at was proficiency, language. If you had heard the kind of English that I was speaking, sparking, and spokelala. Hey, all of you here by now, only God knows what you'll be doing. You'll be wearing helmet. You need to wear helmet. The way I was speaking then wasn't like this. So the decision that I took to continue in that line accepted me. But let me tell you why I wanted to study law. Because I love talking. I love talking. And not just talking, I love to also prove things, bring a matter, let's bring a matter, let's argue, this kind of stuff. Let's prove a matter. But if you look at the line I ended up being in, teaching as an educationist, as an English teacher or English person, not as a Briton now, in a way, I still talk. I interact regularly. I talk, In fact, if you know anyone who has studied English or is studying English, ask them, they will tell you how English is, in any of the universities. It's gone beyond just the grammar. You look at theory, you argue theory, you look at concepts, you prove things, just the same way it is in some other places. Thank you, Favor. I'm seeing you guys chat. So you must begin to look at what's your strength. So my strength then, because sometimes I know some of you here too, you are trying to take a decision, especially as regards career, as regards what you want to study in the university. And many a times we are inspired by what we see. It could be one movie you were watching and you saw something and that inspired the decision you want to take. Consequences. Not to speak down on any profession, but I won't mention any profession anyway. But there are some people that are still trying to take a decision of certain profession because it is how it was before. There are certain professions that I wouldn't even advise any teenager right now to be considering to be considering embarking on. So if you want to go to the university to study, there are certain, courses that I personally will not encourage some teenagers. Why? Because those courses or those professions are being outdated gradually. Things are changing. Technology is coming into place. The way we see the work or the value we used to put to certain works is no longer there anymore. So you must ask yourself, this thing I want to do, why? Is it that I have passion for it, or is it because it can just bring me money? In a couple of years' time, will I still find myself doing this? Decision that you take matters. So think about the values and the goals. Think about it. Information and resources, and that's exactly what I'm explaining. That's another point to consider. Remember, the first one is consequences, which is the aftermath of the result. The second one is values and goals. The third one is information and resources. Gather relevant information. Consider seeking advice from trusted sources. Don't just take decisions, because you feel like taking a decision or because you just have to take a decision. Try your best to make sure you have sufficient knowledge, relevant knowledge of the decisions you want to take. Even about friends. Some of you take certain friends. I was talking to one of my mentees, and she's in the university. Maybe she's like one of my closest mentees right now. And we were talking about our friends. I said, tell me about your friends. And she was talking to me about some friends that gossip. They talk about other people. And she says sometimes she feels uncomfortable. That's exactly what it is. You are among some people that their values and goals does not align with your own. Then don't you think that you need to re-examine the decision you're taking? Yes, you have to. You have to re-examine the decision you are taking, because that decision might end up making you, if you are not careful, you will eventually become a gossip if you continue with that kind of company. Okay? Some of you could even be friends that do not set proper priorities. What is a priority to them? They are mundane things. They are things that in a couple of years' time will not amount to making you the person you want to be. So make sure you gather the proper information, gather the proper resources. Okay? Then consider alternative options. I told you earlier when I was starting, and that's where this quote, that I told you to write. I said, oftentimes, these decisions have been given. They're like options. You can either do it or not. That's always the point. No or yes. Always, also, sometimes in certain cases, you need to consider the alternatives. Okay, if I don't take this particular one, if I take this, what are the consequences? What are the benefits? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Think about alternative. Weigh the pros and the cons of different choices. Consider alternative choices. Chima, Nebechuku, as your advice on Nebechuku says, sir, please tell us the course that you don't advise young ones to venture into. I don't know if I want to say that, but even if I'm saying, I'll probably give you reasons. But okay, ask this after the class. I mean, when it's time for questions and answers, you can repose this question. All right. So let me read. Then finally, I thought I'm just going to give you 5 things to consider. The intuition and reflection. There are certain times that the time you have to take certain decisions is limited, that you don't have the opportunity or the luxury of time to be seeking for advice or seeking for more piece of information. What you can do, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. I mean, if you've been molding yourself and building yourself in a certain way, there is a possibility that you would have been well built up to make certain well-informed decisions even on your own. So listen to your inner voice and reflect on your feelings. Ask yourself, does this decision feel right for me? Now, I want to talk about something because I know I'm talking to more of teenagers. I'm going to bring some real life situations. This is the time I've been talking. Now I want you guys to talk. I want us to talk, okay? So I'm going to read some situations. Please, I want you to listen. I want you to listen very well because I will ask you questions now. I want to bring, and this is where I'm rounding off my class, reading these situations to you, and then you tell me. So I want to read some possible life scenarios, decision takings. Okay, the decision that I've made some people. Tola, a 17-year-old from Lagos, was expected to follow in his parents' footsteps and study medicine at the University of Lagos. Sorry, I want to read. Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Okay, so it's Tola, a 17-year-old from Lagos. Okay, a 17-year-old from Lagos was expected to follow in his parents' footsteps. Chima, maybe this might answer your question. Just follow the story. He's expected to follow his parents' footsteps to study medicine at the University of Lagos. However, during a school trip to a farm, he discovered a passion for agriculture and decided to pursue it instead. His parents were shocked and disappointed, but Tola stood firm. He researched and found a reputable agricultural program at the University of Ibadan and applied. To his own surprise, he got in. With the support of his friends and a few understanding relatives, Tola embarked on this new path. He excelled in his study, made new friends who shared his passion, and even started a small urban agriculture project in his neighborhood. His parents eventually came around. They were impressed by his dedication and innovation. Now I want to ask you a question. Before I read this. Now, this story, I still have more stories to read. This is just one scenario. This story that I've read, in case you did not get the summary, his parents wanted him to follow in that stead, medicine. He didn't have an issue until along the way. You know, I was saying the other time that sometimes you could be watching a movie, and that's how some of us probably just got inspired about some things we want to be. Some of you want to be actors and actresses, or want to be content creators because you see these guys are making money. No, come on, say the truth. Say the truth. Do you really have passion for it? Well, okay, sorry, that's the way I'm going because I'm going to be 10 times. Sorry. I could go on and on talking, you know. Sorry about that. Okay, so this guy, along the way, he saw farming and discovered that, oh, I think I like farming. I think I like agriculture. So he went into agriculture, and along the way, the parents were not in agreement. He got into school, and he did well. He came out well. His parents, when they saw the success, they came around and said, good, don't worry, you're our son, you're our daughter. That's a good decision you made. Now, I want to ask you, did he make the right decision or not? This time, you are not typing. I want you, if you want to talk, just raise your hand. I'm going to select. There are more examples that I will give. He didn't make the right decision or not. Faith, go on. Unmute yourself. You raise your hand first. Go ahead. Faith.
Me personally, I still think, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So for me personally, I still think he excelled. He did do the right thing, but I do think he could have done medicine and agriculture together. They would have both worked out anyway.
How? No, please don't go off. You can't just give me that answer and escape. How will he combine the two courses together? They don't even go hand in hand, do they?
They do in a way.
Okay. Agriculture and medicine.
I know there's a course for those things. I can't remember the name, but they do go well together.
So then how do you expect him to cope? Is it that we'll be going to two different universities at the same time? We are learning, all of us are learning. So sorry?
No, he would not.
Okay.
He would just, in his proposed university, he would possibly find, there would obviously be a course for it. That's just it.
There will be a course.
There would have to be a course for that.
All right. Thank you, Faith, for sharing your perspective. Thank you so much. I'm going to give my perspective at the end of this, but I just want to hear your feedback. All right. I'm going to take one more person because there are others. So I'll take others. Pius, Glory, Edits. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay. For me, I would say he made the right decision. He made the right decision because he followed his passion. No, he found something. Yes, it was a family something at first. The medicine was a family. Oh, you must do this, you must do that. That was not his passion, but he didn't argue with his parents. But going ahead, he found something he desired. He found passion. He had passion for that. So whenever you have passion for something and you go for it, that's when it's best. So I'll say he made the right decision by going after his passion. And that was a great decision. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the feedback. But have you thought of it? Okay. Just think about it. If you had not succeeded, the two of you gave me those responses. Will you still maintain your response? Let's assume when you went for that, you didn't succeed. And you know, by success, by the way the story was doing an agriculture project in neighborhood, also because he was able to do an agricultural project in his neighborhood. And for you to do that kind of project, there may be some funds may be involved. You know, if you had not succeeded in it, would you have said he made the right decision? You can still unmute if you want to. Faith and Glory, the two of you.
Okay.
Okay, Faith, go ahead.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, if the thing didn't end up working out for him, what then? What was the next plan then?
No, I didn't get that.
If the agricultural business didn't work for him at the end of the day,
okay,
what would have been plan B?
Okay, was that the reason you were suggesting he should embark on the two?
Yes.
Okay, but okay.
His parents are just
yeah, go ahead.
His parents are just looking from the side of let him just have a plan B, because anything can go wrong at the end.
All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Glory, over to you now. Please, everyone, I want everybody to speak. There are other scenarios. Glory.
Okay, for me, I would still maintain my answer, which is he made the right decision. Because there is a say when you follow your passion, even if it seems it is narrow, it is not easy. But because you have a love for that thing you are going, you know, no matter what, there is a light ahead. There is a light ahead, and I must pursue it because I have passion for this. The main drive should be your passion. If you love that thing so much, if you have passion for it so much, then the success would come, even though it seems it's tiring, it's taking long, it will come because you have a love for it, you have a passion for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. You have all given awesome responses. And the conclusion of the story says that following one's passion can lead to innovation and success. Following one's passion can lead to innovation and success. But let me add to it, because I know some of you may fall into the category. And I've mentored teenagers, a couple of times, and I know some of the things that they've also encountered with parents. And this is a similar issue. You want to study this, you say you have passion for it. Your parents are thinking, no. The first speaker taught us about the different generational gaps. The millennia, the Gen Z, the Alpha, and then we have the pre-millennial. I don't even know what to call those ones now, So what happens when your parents then tell you you should study this? I would just advise, if you truly have a passion for something, obeying parents is very, very important. But the reality also is that you may be frustrated at that thing you don't have passion for eventually. Let me just offer you this piece of advice. There is always somebody or some people who have our parents' password. Let me use that one. Look, it could be your uncle, it could be a relative, it could be pastor or religious leader. There is always someone who has your parent password. I will advise that before you make a decision of going into not obeying your parents or following your passion alone, find a way to get your parents on board. The story tried to encapsulate parents eventually agreeing, but that's because it was successful. But in other ways, find a way to get your parents' approval. Now, look, the thing is, I don't want to go and fail, and be struggling, because I know that some parents look at some of their children and say, no, you are good for, you are intelligent, you are good for this. I want you to study this. Especially some parents want you to be all rounder. You are a lawyer, you are an engineer, you need, either you are even the one who now likes law, then I say you should be a doctor, or something like that. So it is good to find a way to table the matter to your parents and also make sure you don't disappoint. All right, so I'm going to read the second scenario and then I can allow questions to come in. Okay, a 17-year-old, okay, was that the first one? Let me read the second. Uche, a 15-year-old from Abuja, dreamt of becoming a rapper inspired by his idol, Wizkid. However, his parents insisted on a respectable career like law or medicine. Uche tried to please them, but couldn't shake off his love for music. He secretly recorded songs and performed at school talent shows, but his lyrics were so bad that he became a viral meme on social media. His parents were mortified, but Uche took it as an opportunity to improve. He joined a music club, learned from constructive criticism, and developed his skills. He eventually won a local rap competition, earning his parents' respect. Earning his parents' respect. So I've got a question here. And Uche. Okay, Chima. I think Chima was one who asked the other question earlier. I want two people who have not spoken to please raise their hand to two people to volunteer. I want two people to volunteer to speak. Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you want to speak to this. Now, my question to you also is the same. Did they make the best decision, the right decision? Okay, Favor. Faith has spoken. So Favor and Olawale. Favor, you go first.
He did make the right decision.
Say that again.
In my perspective, he made the right decision. In my perspective, he chose
why? I want to know why.
He chose what he's good at, and he saw his strength was in rap. His parents were just concerned in the respect of dignity, because in the rap industry, there are some implicit acts that go on with it. But he saw that his strength was with rap. He knew that this was what he wanted to do. So with the help of constructive criticism, he molded himself to become a better rapper.
Thank you for that feedback. Okay. Olawale, over to you. So these are real life situations, similar things that you're familiar with. Okay, Olawale, Kafayat.
I also believe that he made the right decisions, because if he had allowed the criticism get to him and not get better with what he actually has passion for, he would not have been successful in it. So him being able to construct himself from the criticism that he received, he was able to build himself on it. So that makes him, he makes the right decision by trying to construct it. Even some other people, seeing the criticism that he encountered, they would have actually given up on that, their passion. So, but he didn't, but he actually built up on it. So he literally made the right decision.
Okay, thank you. So those raising your hand, please you can put your hands down. I'm going to read the next one so that because of time, you can answer for the next one. I like these feedbacks that I've got. Let's hear what they say. They said they consider other people's advice. How many of you remember yesterday's speaker? And I think somebody mentioned it today when I was asking you for the feedback. What did you learn? That when people laugh at you, improve on yourself. You to just don't let it derail you from your path. Did you remember that when this guy too, from this story, when he went to perform, people laughed at him because his lyrics were just terrible? Then he took, he instead of using that as a way to be discouraged, he used that as a fueling gate for himself to project himself. So the response is they consider other people's advice, but also be true to yourself. And I think that's what the two of you have said in common. He was true to himself. All right. This one is going to be on relationship. Okay. And this is going to end this meeting will end in a few minutes. Please, if it ends, I think we're rounding off. Maybe I'll just read as a last scenario. There are more scenarios I could read. I'll just make this as a last scenario. All right. Ngozi, a 16-year-old from Ibadan, found herself caught in a love triangle with her best friend's ex-boyfriend. Is this about somebody? Somebody in this story? Let me read on. I'll start again. Ngozi is a 16-year-old from Ibadan who found herself caught in a love triangle with her best friend's ex-boyfriend, Emeka. Despite her friend's warning, Ngozi pursued Emeka, thinking their love was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. But the relationship ended in disaster, with Ngozi losing her best friend and earning a reputation as a homewrecker. She learned a valuable lesson about prioritizing friendship and communication. Of course, Ngozi apologized, made amends, and eventually regained her friend's trust. Now I want to ask, the decision she made to follow her best friend's ex, is that the best decision? Because I know I've heard stories of people saying my friends, in fact, some people is the friend's friend that they said they're attracted to. Because you're a teenager, I know to your parents, you might be claiming that, oh no, I haven't got any feelings for anybody. Oh, but please, we know the truth. We know what's going on. So we are talking about decisions that are available for you. For those who make certain decisions, can you tell me who wants to speak? Okay, I should be seeing more hands. I'm seeing Favor. Favor has spoken. Faith has spoken. Emmanuel Akinsanya, you're on this call. You have not said anything. Ifeoluwa, you have not. Ifeoluwa, can you unmute yourself? Olawale Kafaya, you said something. So let me. John, Olami, Sarah. There are many names here. Please, please. I want you guys to talk. What do you think? Zainab. I'm looking for people who have not spoken. John Femi. John Femi, can you say something? Ifeoluwa, can you unmute yourself? Let's hear from you. You can unmute yourself. Okay, reading through the names. Ifeoluwa, you are still muted because I know you tried speaking earlier. Kasali, Adiola, you've not said anything. So who wants to talk? Do you think, and this is just a straightforward, unless if you are in this case, if you know that conscience is disturbing you, there's nothing wrong in coming out. So let us hear. Yes, 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 yes. Do you think it was the right decision? I know I can see some hands up. I know Favor hand is up, Faith hand is up, Olawale's hand is up. But I'm looking for, I want more people who have not spoken, that have not heard their voices. Please, is Olami on this call? Is Olami still on this call? I can see Victor, I saw a name, Victor Donald. And I don't know, is Ifeoluwa also still on this call? I've called her several times. This is going to go off anytime now. So I want to hear your opinion. Okay, Victor Dona, thank you for raising your hand. Okay, Victor, please, can you unmute yourself and speak? Can you unmute yourself and speak? Rhoda Adeolu. Okay, Feoluwa, I can hear you now. Ifeoluwa, are you speaking? Go ahead. Ifeoluwa, you can talk. We can hear you. Oh, okay. You have issues with your audio. It's all right. I'm seeing, okay, let me just take the hands that I can see then, since others are shy. Okay, so Faith, go ahead.
So, For me, I think the girl made a very terrible mistake because not only did she disgracefully disgrace the girl code, she actually
There's a girl
went
code.
for her. Yes, there is.
Wow. Right.
She actually went to her ex best friend boyfriend, knowing that that would never work because if you're close to somebody who is going through heartbreak from another person, it's just somehow you're going to end up being the root of the problem when you never started in it. So it's like how you went involved in it, but you somehow forced your way into it. You are just causing yourself trouble in the end and all to gain nothing. You started with thinking you earned something, but then losing it all. Now having to restart again. So for me, I think she should never have gone for it at all.
Wow.
Her first thing is, why are you even being friends? Why are you allowing your best friend date a guy? Like, it's not right for her at this moment. You're allowing her. And then you now have the audacity to go and take the guy, thinking you can surpass everything. Her relationship didn't work out. You are expecting yours to now work out.
Wow, that's a point there. That's a point there. That's a point there, actually. But please, out of curiosity, because somebody's even putting on the chat that says sharp girl code. What's the girl code though? Am I the only one that is lost here? Is it that everybody on this call understands what the girl code is so that I mind my business? What's the girl code?
So it's just a girl code. It's a girl code. We have it.
Okay.
We know what it is.
Una know. All right. Let's move on to Ismail. Thank you.
My own opinion is that the girl made a wrong decision because saw someone enter into the Red Sea. The person escaped.
Oh God.
Went there again on her own. That one was warning her not to enter the Red Sea, but she went ahead, entering the Red Sea. And that one was trying to rescue her, but she refused. But that is why I said she made the wrong decisions. Taking her girlfriend's ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Please, I would like to take your questions now. I still have some scenarios, and but there's a particular one I would like to read. Okay, so if this logs off, please rejoin so that we can just take questions and then we can end in the next 10 minutes. Ismail, maybe you should be the one talking while this thing ends. Ismail, your hand is still up. Do you want to say something? Or who just spoke? Okay, Ismail, you can talk now. You can unmute yourself.
No, sir, I don't have anything to say again.
Oh, okay. All right. Please have your questions ready once we rejoin, because this thing is going to log off now or log us out. Once we rejoin, I can start taking questions and then we can wrap it up. But whilst we are waiting for the couple of seconds, someone says that because this one is going to help you, in a way, it's going to this story. So we've learned from parents' perspective, we've learned from career aspect, we've learned about relationship, decision, and thank you for that